This conference will now be recorded.
Cool. Hey guys, now last class we discussed about deploy a applications, right? I think this also this. Okay. And last class what we have done, we are deployed the two applications in a Tomcat server. One is for pet clinic, another one is the like a game of life. The two is the very big Java projects which we are implemented in real time. Even there are many people are contributing that to open source project. This is just want to make sure to understand the end-to-end flow, how the Java will work, how the like as MVC architecture will work. Okay, entire the big code will be there. Even if you go inside the code, there's a lot more packages, lot more classes, like as data utils, and there is no all kind of objects types and interfaces of objects and methods and JSP, HTML, CSS. There is no lot of code is there, front end, back end, and everything will be there. Okay, to make more like as you guys will get more clear, we have done that examples and see you guys will get a clarity. Okay, we no need to worry about that what the code they are writing in a Java. First thing, we need to focus on the process. We need to focus on the pipeline, like CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and how much code they've written, 2 lines code, 100 lines of code, 1 lakh code, and then we no need to worry about that. The first thing you will keep in mind. And then this is for Java level applications. If it is .NET, PHP, Android, and then Python, it's a maybe different commands they may use, different build tools they may use, and then that also will be developer will let you know what command need to be used. You okay, fine. And if you, for example, any MS build, okay, for example, MS build is not there, then what it is there already. But in case if you're not there, let's install a plugin. What are the options is not try to get a install a plugin for a specific one. Maximum plugins are available, okay, whatever based on your scenario. Okay, fine. The next, if it is not there, how we can do some is basically Java developer will like as if you are the Java background, then develop your own plugin also is possible, and you can make it into HPA file. That HPA file we can add into your plugins. That also options are available. Okay, you can develop your own plugins. Then great. The next what we do, maximum that much we never go for actually. Okay, and is developing your own plugins and that. Okay, even if you're not there, then we can make it as a implement any script, and then we can make it happen like a shell script or Python script. If that requirement is not satisfied, maximum 99% requirement is satisfied in the pipeline. In the pipeline will be satisfied. In the worst scenario, worst scenario, like as 99.1%. That's what I'm telling about. Okay. Today, what we are going to talk about nexus. Okay, nexus, sonatype, nexus, sonatype, nexus, sonatype, nexus. What is this? The naming is look like is very nice, right? Yes. Now, what is the reason behind the to use this? What is the purpose of this tool? And all? Let's talk about first that. Then later we'll go for this. And if you can see this diagram, okay, if you can see this diagram, and what we have done and git and then push to the GitHub, Jenkins will be clone the code and Maven will be validate, compile, test, and then it will give a package it will give, and then it will be deploy into this Tomcat server, right? Deploy into this Tomcat server we are done. Okay, in case this package is the like for example, let's say this time one point version I'm telling. Okay, app app iPhone. Yes, okay. This version we deploy successfully is done and is running on, and another developer will make the changes, and he make the changes the app 2 dot version like as version 2 he make the changes, and where is this version is mentioned inside the pom.xml file. Okay, and then he mentioned in the version changed in the pom.xml file, and he pushed to the code, and then get Jenkins will be built, and it will be deployed in the app to another var file will come. It will clean up your what and let's say it will be wap2 dot var will come. For example, I'm telling you, and this var2 is deployed, is var2 is deployed in a server, and then this wap1 is clean up in the your target folder. Okay, its target folder is clean up, and then only wap2 is there. After deploying, what happened? No, what happened? It's not working properly. Let's say example, it's not working properly. It's not working properly. Then what you do? You need to what? There is two options. One is this: your code changes. What are the code you deployed in the second version? You need to revert your code, or else we can deploy the previous jar file, previous var file. Let's say previous var file you need to deploy. Either we need to make all your changes into code back. Again, if you code back changes, what happened now? Again, we need to implement again, right? There is just small bug it is there, but I need to be fixed that in a short time. But if you roll back this code again, it's not a good management, right? And you don't want to code revert all the code. Just you need to make sure that we can deploy the previous code. How do we deploy previous code? There is a different options. We discussed about git tags, right? We have a tag for the specific version, and then we can make a tag and we can deploy that a specific tag. And then again we need to rebuild, again we need to recompile, and we need to deploy and all. Why this process again? Why this process again? Again, we already done the previously. Why we need to again process, validate, compile, test for the previous version of the tag? If it is a scenario and if it is not there, we can do. And then let's say that option we can take as a specific git commit, and then let's go and deploy into the our server. That works fine. Even though again this process we started from scratch, like as validate, compile, test, and then package and deploy, create a old version again, and then deploy. Then why we need to do again? Why can't we can store this backup of this var file? Now once the build the package, this version is var file is done, then why can't keep it this into backup? Why can't we can keep it into backup, and whenever I require, I can download, I can deploy into the my Tomcat server? Why can't keep it into backup of this var files? Why can't we can keep it into the var files? Then if you want to take a backup of your artifacts, or else this is the one scenario. And another scenario is, maybe let's say there is a different teams are there. One team they develop some code, one team they develop the some code. That code they want to use for other team, that code they want to use the other team as a dependency. What the other dependency means? What other jar files? Let's say these guys are jar files. They, let's say executable jar file they created and they store into somewhere, and they download this the same. This is a local repository. Let's say okay, this is a remote repository in your company, and they can download this and they can be use this jar files, this executable jar files or var files, whatever it could be. Okay, executable jar file, var file, whatever they want to be, they can keep it this jar files libraries, and they can use that code again. No need to, like as multiple project we can use the same code. For example, logging frameworks are there. Let's say common code for every project. Instead of writing a multiple places of code, they've written one place, and they can use those methods. Those methods they are calling, and then they can implement very fast their code instead of writing a duplication code of that. Okay, then that will be helpful, like sharing the artifacts to different team members, and let's say backup of like as in future purpose. And then those kind of scenario we can need to use the backup of your artifacts. Backup of your artifacts, or else we are calling as a remote artifact repository. Remote artifact repository. What artifact repositories are available in the market? Now let's talk about this. What are the tools are there? Now one is this Sonatype Nexus, and then artifact JFrog artifactory, JFrog artifactory. Okay, JFrog artifactory. These two are the major in the industry. Okay, these two tools are the major in the industry, are using for artifact storage purpose. Okay, these tools are the major, and this Nexus will get a somewhat is free, and this JFrog will get a 15 days free trial, and then again it will be commercial. It's a too much cost compared to the Sonatype Nexus. Sonatype Nexus free version will give many things for us, and even though Maven also won't give the two free version for these guys, they will give only 15 days. Okay, then this is two tools are available, two flavors. What are the flavors? And then okay, OSS version, OSS version, and another one is that yeah, forgot. Okay, let's check for the JFrog Artifactory OSS version Pro, and then Pro version. There is a two versions are available. OSS is the somewhat is free, and the Pro version is the commercial, completely commercial. Even this somewhat are also available in the Pro version and OSS version. In the if you want to use the real-time scenario, we can use this OSS version basically in the Nexus level. And if you want to, what is the Pro means? Pro is the commercial, which we can get the support from the whom their team. Like as I mean, like as Nexus guys will be support us if we had any issues or anything. Okay, we have a get a support from them, and then we'll get a more features. We'll get a more features like as all the features will get what are they have implemented. Some features they restricted in the like as commercial. Even the same, right? When you play some game, okay, now if you want to go for some level, then next what if you want to reach for other level, you should have some kinds, or else you need to buy that kinds and then go for the next level. Same here also. The pro version is if you want to utilize all the features, you need to pay for them. Not only this, all the world will be happen and depends on this. If you want to go other level, you should have a some amount need to be paid for this. And even this also tools also will be same. Tools also will be the same. Even AWS, GCP, and all whatever softwares we are using. Even Jenkins also commercial available. Okay, everything is available in the market in the commercial ones. Yes, who are making that is the marketing for them. Okay, that's it. Now, these are talk about what is this purpose of to take a artifactory backup of your like as to we can use in the future purpose. Okay, you can store your artifacts. You can store your artifacts. Okay, to take backup of your artifacts, we can use these tools. Now, today what we are talking about Nexus in our course. Nexus, we are going to be talk about to take a backup of your artifacts. To backup of your artifacts. Now, first of all, we need to know that how to install the Nexus, how to configure the Nexus, how to access the Nexus. After this, how to integrate into our Jenkins, how to push your artifacts into your Nexus server, and how to take a backup of how to will be stored, how it looking like, to set up everything will should get to know this. And this Nexus we can do two ways. One is the freestyle, one is the pipeline. This Nexus we are talking about the freestyle today, and the pipeline we'll talk about the after 1 week, because when we start the pipeline that will do with the end-to-end integration with the Nexus in the next after 1 week. Okay, right now we are talking about only freestyle jobs. Only we are freestyle jobs we are talking about. Understand, guys? Clear now? What is the tool? What is the use of Nexus? What is the use of Nexus? Just take a backup of your artifacts, let's say, not repositories, to take a backup of your previous version artifacts, and then sharing your artifacts into different team members. We are using this repository tools. Not only jar file, var file, and all. You can store in the n number of types. Like there's lot of types are there. Let's say Docker images we can store, Helm chart we can store, M repositories we can store, APT repository we can store, blah blah blah, PyP repository we can store. PyP for what? Python. I'll show you what are the list of available after installing. You will get to know this. What type of artifacts we can store in no Nexus repo. Is it clear, guys? Clear now? Theoretically, what is the use of Nexus? Let's check. And then one thing keep in mind, basically if you want to practice this tool, you need to pay some amount. Okay, because it's 1 GB is not enough for this. Minimum 2 GB is required. Okay, 2 GB RAM is required. Now that could be the reason I'm going to take the medium instance as of now. Okay, for this what I'm going to use, I'm going to use for the T2 medium instance. CPU also is needed, 2 CPU core. T2 medium, I'm taking this medium instance, you must to be take. Okay, medium instance, medium, let's anything. Okay, T2 medium instance, we need to be take this for this instance. Now then go for the tech instance and take for Ubuntu I'm taking for this, like, because mostly we are installing in this Ubuntu. Even AML steps are common for AML Linux and Ubuntu. Okay, just I'm trying to show you for how it look like for Ubuntu for Sonar type and I mean Sonar Cube, and then the steps is common for any OSs. That just for only downloading is the only difference. Not downloading, like I'll show you that what is the difference will come. Even I have a document for AML Linux also. And here T2 medium is required. T2 medium, okay, medium is required. The next, configure this and keep it in mind, and then one instance is fine, 8 GB is fine, and the security group 22, keep it this, and later we'll make the changes. Later we'll make the changes if we required. Yes, definitely we required, we'll make the changes later. And review launch, and then launch the server and view the instances. Let's make a name for this nexus. Okay, and let's correct this server, correct this nexus server. I took the Ubuntu instance, remember that. Okay, and then next, how do you update in the sudo, guys? In Ubuntu, you should be practice for Ubuntu also. Basically, most of the real-time scenario, maximum 90% we are using Ubuntu. Okay, maximum 90% we may use in Ubuntu servers. Alpha Linux, rare cases. Okay, Alpha Linux for container based, but if you are Linux servers, maximum 90% is Ubuntu. A rare case of CentOS. CentOS means AML Linux. Sudo apt -get is required or else not required, because that is the old version. apt-get or apt both are same. Once it is update, let's go for this document, guys. All the commands we already discussed in our Linux session. Okay, and I'll show for this is the reason I discussed in the that time. This is Ubuntu. Okay, this is the nexus Ubuntu. Medium instance is mandatory. Okay, and then install Java, because this even this nexus also written in the Java language only. Okay, this is also written in the Java only. So simple steps, 2 pages document. I'm closing this. Okay, that's done. And let's take a update is done. The next, install a Java. JRE is enough this for this. Let's take a OpenJDK JRE. Headless, this is also one kind of Java. OpenJDK, Java, both are same guys. Okay, don't confuse here. In a Linux server level, we are talking of the OpenJDK. This is also open source one. We can install OpenJDK or Java, both are same. In Linux server, we are talking about the OpenJDK. It is done. The next, this Nexus download, you can download from this. Go for the CD OPT. This your wish. Okay, if you go for wherever it will be, I follow the some step. I went for OPT folder, and then I'm downloading using wget command. This is a where we how we get this URL simply. Then go for here Nexus download. That's it. Nexus download. If you go this is a sonotype help. Go for this, and the next, what you guys will do, if it is Windows, you can click this. If it is Linux, we can click this. If it is Mac OS, we can click this. You can right click this URL and copy the link URL and save. This is the what URL I used here. Clear enough, guys? And then enter it. Once it enter, it will download in this current path. In this here, if you see, once we are downloaded, you can see there is a tar file is downloaded for us. There is a one tar file is downloaded for us. Okay, there is a one tar file is downloaded for us. Then after that, what we need to do, we can extract that using tar command. You can extract that. Okay, once extracted, you can see this folder, and there is a two folders are extracted. One is the nexus and the sonotype work. Two folders are came. Once we extracted this zip file, we'll get a two folders. Okay, these two folders we get. And the next, once you get the two folders, just what I'm going to do, I'm making this rename. I'm making this rename, but this version is different here. We need to be sure, and then we can use the what is the folder name is there. That's the folder name. Right now 334. Even I've written the document, that is the version is that, and now it got changed. The present at this today, we have this for this version 3.34 1-01. I'm using this folder name. Okay, maybe in your document, maybe this version will be different. And do the lsfldr and then take your latest folder name and then keep it the folder name here, and then rename it to nexus. Rename it to nexus. And once you rename it, let's see, instead of big name, just we make a short name of this nexus. We can make a short name of this nexus. After that, let's create a one user. Let's create a one user. What? Okay, control C and add it like as sudo add user to nexus. I'm creating one user. The nexus is the user, and the password I'm giving this password also nexus I'm giving, and the confirm password also nexus I'm giving. Full name enter, room number, work number, phone number, other information correct, yes, and then done. Now we created one user successfully. That I password also I set up, and then open the sudoers file. Open the sudoers file. This is sudoers file, and then because we are giving the permissions, like as when this user, you can add anywhere in this file, anywhere we can add in this file here, that your wish. I'm going to add here. And the next, we need to add this nexus user into all no ask password. If you don't want to ask password for every time, you can mention here in this file vi sudo or else etc/sudoers file, both are same. Now let me edit here. In this line I added, and then control X, this is a nano editor will open. This nano editor will open. You need to press the control X, and you need to press Y and then enter. Now it will be saved. Or else, sir, I don't want to open the nano editor, I need to open the vi editor. Then what you do, sudo vi, like same, and then go to etc slash sudoers file. And if you open the, if you open this, just I added this now nexus, it will come here. And either you can open this way also. Okay, two ways. See, this is the read only mode, it will be showing actually, it's not editable. Okay, it's not editable. Okay, fine. Now that's the reason we are opening the into the rs. We can switch into the root user. If you want to switch the root user, how to switch, sudo -i. If you switch this, it will switch to the root user, and then open into the etc slash sudoers. Do this etc, right not, and the cd etc slash. If you go this path, and if you get this and then grep sudo, let's just what this is sudoers file will come, and then sudoers, let's open the sudoers, and you can edit here, like here also. This is the sudoers is the read only mode, and that could be the reason we are pressing into the, if you see, read only file will be still in the read only file, and that could be the reason we open in the which one, this one. If you open this command, okay, sudo va sudo, then it will be a like as it will open for edit mode. Okay, it will open for edit mode. Exit this root user, and we are in the Ubuntu user only. Okay, that could be the reason va sudo. If you open this, sudo's file will be open in the editing mode, and then in the nano editor by default will be opened. And then we can add this line control x and then control x y to press save and then enter. That's it. Okay, keep it in mind. And I'm going to press it now, this time control x. That's it. I think there is no changes in the file. That's the reason it won't ask the save or not. Okay, nano also one kind of editor, va nano. Okay, all those things. Okay, vim, all those. Okay, once it is downloaded and added this line, the next what you do, just give the permission to this nexus folder and sonatype work folder to this nexus user. And if you see here, ls fnltra, if you can see these folders, who is the owner of this row? This two is the owner of who? Root user is the owner. Root user owner, because of we use the sudo command to download, right? And then all the things extracted and then those things. And by default is the which user it is. Now this user is the root user is the owner. But I create one user nexus, right? I need to make that user need to access this, okay, without any permissions. Now what I'm changing the owner and then group I'm changing now. Owner and group I'm changing now. Nexus to nexus to for this folder. Okay, this folder we already in this folder. You don't need to give the opt. That's fine. So we already inside the folder. You don't need to give this. Okay, you can give the nexus is fine. But I given everything. And if you see this now you can see now this time it was changed to for root to nexus. I'm changing the owner of this. And the next again, let's change the owner of the sonatype work also. Sonatype work also, let's change the owner. Okay, now you can see now both are these two folders are owner, who is the owner, and then nexus is the nexus user is the owner. And then after this, once we are work is done, then remove this latest one. Okay, now it is permission denied because of because the permission owner of this file is this root, and then use the sudo. Then sudo, if it is do, then it will be a remove your file. That your wish. If you remove or not, but it's waste of your spaces. Be practice that also. Okay, fine. And then once your work is done, then only we need to delete. Okay, or else don't delete the before that. Don't delete the before that. We extracted, we don't need to require for the star file next use future. That's the reason I deleted that. And the next, add the nexus as a service in boot time. That means when you Linux server will start, my nexus server will be up and running. Okay, next when you restarted, stop and started, my nexus server always should be running when the server is running. Now you need to add in the booting time. And then how to do? We need to use the make this file name change. Okay, there is a opt nexus folder bin folder nexus.rc file, and inside the bin folder nexus folder, inside the nexus folder there is a bin folder. Even if you see cd nexus, and if you see the tree structure inside this folder, the tree is not there. Now you need to install. Even if you see, it will give suggestion for us. Okay, the next, once it is done, the next what we need to do, we need to do for the next, we went for the cd now. You don't need to go cd, that's fine. Cd, if we do the cd hyphen, the previous state will go actually. Cd hyphen cd space hyphen means the previous command which path we are there, that path it will go automatically. This is also one shortcut. Okay, fine. The next what we do, we need to do for this file. Let's see, right, tree we are checking now. Inside the what are the folders and what are the files are available. See, this many files, this many jar files, this many structure will be there. My god, it's a very big thing. These are dependencies, these are jar files. Okay, these are all we don't need to require. Just we need to simply need to know that inside the bin folder what are things are available. This nexus, all the software you don't need to require. You should know that inside this bin folder you have a nexus.rc file, and the nexus executable file. This executable file and rc file, these two are important for us. And remaining things, there is a lot more is there. And if you can see etc folder, there is a lot of files, elasticsearch file, and then like as my batteries and oriented db. Okay, oriented db, oriented security, jetty server. Okay, jetty server, Karaf. There is a something dependencies they are using here. Okay, fabric, jetty, Karaf, folder names. Say etc, the libs, these are libraries. Okay, now once it is done, now what I need to do, let's open this file, vim or vi, whatever you like, we can open. Okay, no need to vim and your wish. Okay, vi or vim or anything is fine. Now vim is lot of features are there. Okay, like I split the file and we can see the multiple uh where multiple editings here. The lot of new features will be there in vim editor. va is different, vim is different, guys. Okay, and let's, it will come little bit colorful, and then but saving and then using the va editor is same. Okay, fine. Now once the file is got changed, the next what we need to do, let's add this Elliot was the empty. Now I am added this nexus user, and let's make a soft link where the opt nexus bin nexus is executable. This executable I'm adding into the init.d. That means when this process is start, when the booting power is on in your computer, init.d file will be execute. What are the files are available in init.d, that will be executable. Okay, that's the reason we added it to the init.d nexus. Okay, and then it's a booting time, it's added for us. That's great. Okay, you guys remember, right? Soft link and hard link and all, you guys in a Linux session. I think this command you guys are clear. What is the purpose of this soft link? Clear or not? Right? And the next, uh, okay, then switch the nexus server. Okay, like as I'm switching the user, how to switch the user? su hyphen nexus, that also we discussed. Okay, hyphen, not zero, it's a hyphen, or else even hyphen also not required. It will su hyphen, or else su nexus also we can do, and then enter the password of nexus. Now if you can observe here, Elliot was Ubuntu, now it's a nexus user. Nexus user is login. The next, let's start this server. Let's start the server. Once they start the server, and if you can see, check the port is listening or not. Okay, by default this nexus port is the 8081. Then this, okay, netstat is not available. If netstat is not available, we need to install some tools. Okay, now the tool names are sudo apt install. Remember guys, this command, net-tools. If the netstat command, ping command, something, if it is not available, you need to install the net-tools. Okay, that's done. And then do the netstat-plt. Now it will show the your port number. The nexus port is that, what is the nexus port? It's a 8081. By default the nexus port is what? 8081. Now this port is up and running for us. Even, sir, it is not like that, how do you check other way? Now ps-ef grep nexus. Now you will get to know that nexus process is running or not. Nexus process is running or not. Now check here, this nexus is a Java program that is running now. Is running now. That's great. The next, what we do now, this port is 8081 is running. Now if you want to access this, what we should do now, we need to add this port number into our security group. Okay, let's go for security group. This is the security group, and then inbound role, and then edit the inbound role, and the next add the rule, and the next 20, sorry, 8081. Okay, 8081. It's a anywhere IPv4. and then save the rule. That's it. And the next, successfully done. Next, what you need to do, take a public DNS of this Nexus server, copy this IP or DNS that you wish, close this tab and then open into here and then 8081. This Nexus server will be up and running for us. Now this is, and then we need to sign in this. Now if you can see, observe here in the how many types of storage we can do. There are a lot more. See, apt, define artifacts you can store, composer artifacts, Conan artifacts, cpan artifact, Docker images, elpa, git fls, go artifacts, helm charts, maven artifacts, okay, npm artifacts, nugget artifacts, p2 artifacts, pyp artifacts, r language, raw artifacts, ruby gems, m repos, all these kind of artifacts we can store in this nexus. Okay, we can store all these kind of artifacts we can store in the nexus. Artifacts means what? Final output, let's say. Your particular specific program final output you can do. This maven artifacts and docker artifacts in our we are going to be learn in our course. Even in real time also we are using these two purpose only. This helm chart we are using the separate helm repo, and right now we are planning to use for the jfrog basically, and that discussion is going on. Well, we are done and we are go for good to go for like as others helm charts also. Okay, helm chart is for regarding kubernetes. Are Nilima, this artifacts means I told you just now it's a final output of your program. It's a var file, jar file, image, whatever. Once we are compiled, we got a final output. That is what artifact. That's what I told, and now also I'm telling. Before also I told, artifact means final output. Sharing artifacts, we discussed now. Sharing artifacts means that is the this is the what this is the output jar file, var file. No? Final output we are calling is a artifact. Artifacts means what? Like a star file, let's say, and then like a GIF file, okay, and then let's say Docker image, and let's say var file, let's say jar file, let's say ER file, let's say pipe file, let's say nugget files, okay. It's a helm chart. It's a, everything is a artifacts. The terminology, okay, clear now? Now entire thing you are making wrapping into keep it into one file that we're calling is an artifact. Let's say. Is it clear? Is it clear now? Okay. Then next what we do? Go for the sign in. We need to click a sign in, and then by default is the user is what? Admin. And guys, in document earlier versions what we had admin 123 it was there. Admin and admin 123 it was there, but you know that got changed now. There is no not what admin 123. It is changed to what they given nowadays. They make these changes in the software, and then what we are using this now, they given a one path here. This is the path where we are our password is stored. What is the password? It is opt sona type of nexus 3 admin dot password, and then copy this url, copy this path, copy this path, go to your console, cat, and then path. Now basically this is the password actually. Okay, before nexus, right, it was the this password. Copy this password and then paste it to here, and then sign in. Again it will ask the change the password actually. Next, oh sorry, it will ask to change the password. What I given a admin only, admin, and then confirm. It is the enable for anonymous access and disable anonymous access, and you can set up for configure the anonymous. Enable anonymous means what happened, that by default users can sketch, browse, and download the components from repositories without any credentials. Please consider the security implications of your organization. Disable anonymous access should be closed with care, as it's required to credentials for all users and then build tools. And now that is what we are going to be build tools required now. Let's make for enable as of now. Okay, and then in real time scenario we can disable for the anonymous access until unless if the specific user come, then only can be download this artifacts. That is the meaning of that. And the next and then finish it. Once it is done, this admin user will log in, and the sign out option here, and this repository administration configuration here, and the repo, and then browse the repos here. And if you can see, this is the by default repos are created for us. negate, and then maven repositories, public repositories. And as of now, once it is done, let's create a one repository. Now go to this admin configuration and then go to repositories here and then create a repository. And the next, which kind of repository we are creating now? Which kind of artifact we are storing? See, Ruby, Gems, R language, PyP, and P2, Nugget, NPM, okay, Maven 2, and Docker, Conan, CocoaPods, and the Bower, APT. Okay, these kind of repositories we can create here now. Where what we need to go now? We need to go for Maven. Okay, Maven. Maven means so basically hosted is that Maven hosted is that to where we are storing the artifacts. Okay, Maven hosted. Everything hosted. Hosted means that we are storing. Now here let's give any name that you wish. I'm going to give the Spring 3. Let's say for example, Spring 3 name I given. Any name you can give, whatever you like. Okay, whatever you like, you can give it. But you know that whatever you given here, the same thing we need to select in your Jenkins level. This Nexus repository we can integrate in two ways, guys. Okay, one from the pom.xml. Even we can install and configure in the pom.xml file also. Developer will do that. In we talked about, right? In a pom.xml file, there is a tag called as repositories, repository URL, and repository username, password in the settings.xml file. If they are not done that, this way we are doing in our DevOps level. If they already done this, we don't need to worry about that. Okay, in a repository URL or anything. That will be done by the developer in the pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file. Clear, right? And the next is that Spring 3. And then let's keep it there as it is. A version policy, layout policy, and then all this cleanup. Cleanup means like as when you want to be delete this policy level. But as of now, we don't have any policies. That's fine. We can keep it all the versions. Whenever you want, we can delete your manually. That's also fine. Okay. And the next, we don't have any filters here. Okay. And then create a repository. What is the repository created? And Spring 3, this is the repository are created now. And the next, go to this browse your server components and then browse and then Spring 3. If you open the Spring 3, there is no artifacts are stored under this repository. There is no artifacts are stored under this repository. The next, we are going to be integrating this into our Jenkins, and Jenkins will push to the artifacts to this Nexus server. Okay, is it clear, right? If you have manually, you can go for upload, and then if you have any console level, you can do for this other things. But you know, we won't do this manually. But this is we are done by via Jenkins now. This is via this file name. If you have where file is there, we can upload from here. But that is not a correct way. But we do with the automation. Automation means when the code comes, clone this, validate, compile, test this, save our artifacts, and save into Tomcat, deploy into Tomcat. All this will be done in the via automation. CI CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, this comes under the CI process. Nexus repository also will comes under the CI process. And then go to here and then Spring 3. We are right now, we don't have any components. Let's go on into integrate in our Jenkins server. Let's make them into automation to store your artifacts. Okay. And the next, this is a tutorial video we need to take. Okay. Fine. The next what we do, we need to take it off from now. We need to integrate with the Nexus with Jenkins. We need to integrate with the Jenkins. Now let's see that how we can do that. Now let's go to your Jenkins server, which we are previously running. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take about this Spring 3 hello only, the same project which we have done previously. Okay. And then configure this job. And if you can go for the this Tomcat server is not available, just remove this deployment. I'm removing as of now, removing this deployment step, that you can take it up your wish. Okay, deployment I'm removing now. With the build step, if you see, there is no Nexus pushing. If you can see, only 6-7 options are there. There is no option to push a Nexus server. There is no options not appear in the Nexus server. Even post build action, it should be comes under build action only, but there is no even post build action. If you see, push your artifacts to publish change result in the result report is there, but you know, archive artifacts is a different option. This is for tar file, whatever the jar file is there. that will into tar file that we can store in the archive artifacts. We'll talk this about in the pipeline level. Okay, leave it about as of now. Even if you want, we'll see. I'll show you that also. Now, but now see there is no nexus integration here. There is no nexus integration is there. And if there is no option, then what we need to do now? What next? How we can get that option? How do you know that? What we need to do now? That there is no option in the Jenkins to integrate. We need to install a plugin. Which plugin I need to install? I don't know. Which plugin I need to install? I don't know. The next, if you don't know what you need to do, we need to Google. How to Google? Now integrate Nexus with the Jenkins or like whatever you like. Now if I search here, first line only will show this. Help to Sonatype Nexus platform plugin for Jenkins. Nexus platform for Jenkins. Now this is a plugin name. I know already, but if a new requirement will come, then how do you need to know this specific plugin name? Now, if you Google it, you will get to know the specific plugin. Integrate with the Nexus with the Jenkins. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. I need to integrate with the Nexus with Jenkins server. I don't know which plugin I need to install. And then when I search the first only, they will give the Nexus platform plugin. Now we need to install this plugin. Are you sure it is available or not? I'm not sure. Let's go and search that. How where we need to search that? Go to your Jenkins server and go to the dashboard and go to manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins and then go to that manage plugins and then available tab and then this is the one Nexus platform plugin. Okay, basically it was spaces or special characters and all. Just search with the Nexus. Now the full form is just the short name is the Nexus platform. The plugin is there's no Nexus platform is the plugin. Nexus platform. Nexus platform is a till up to date plugin. You need to use this Nexus platform plugin. That's great. The next install without restart. Install without restart. Then next what we do? Let's go and click the this button. Remember this all the plugins guys. When you go for interview they will ask you what are the plugins have you used in your Jenkins. Okay, what are the plugins have you used in your Jenkins? This is a very important precaution. Keep it this all the plugins like as maven git like as deploy to container plugin and the Nexus platform plugin. Remember this and then next upcoming classes there more and more plugins will come in the picture. Those also you should be remember. Okay, clear now? Sorry yes. Okay, the next what we do once it is done, then go for dashboard and then go for this job. Let's see that option come or not. Configure. At that time I didn't save this. We deleted, but we didn't save this. Okay, and the next build step, and then there is see there many things are came here. If you can see in the build steps, this is an Nexus repository. This is Nexus repository associated with the create tag, execute Windows command. And see, memory repository, Nexus repository manager publisher. This is the option we need to use. If you click this, okay, now we need to get this Nexus instance, Nexus repository, but this empty. It's empty is came. Then what you need to do? What we need to do now? Tell me. Tell me what we should do. We need to add the server. The Nexus server configuration we need to do. Where we need to add this Nexus server configuration, guys? Where we need to configure? Tell me. Manage Jenkins and then configure systems. Then earlier, even before install the plugin, there is no Nexus server comes under this. There is no earlier, it won't show here. Now after install the plugin, then only it will come here. This is the Sonatype Nexus. See, this Sonatype Nexus will come in the after installing plugin. And then this is a 3 plus version and the display name is set that your device, whatever you can do, like as remote nexus, let's say, and give the same name here. And URL is that this is the URL. Copy this, and the credentials and username password. I make the change for this password also, right? That time I rename, change this password. Now let's add the nexus credentials. Okay, this is for fine. The next add it, and the next tell him my Jenkins got crashed. A problem occurred while processing the request. Let's see. Admin already name is there. Why this it's not showing credentials? The Jenkins is something happened for my Jenkins. Let's go and check that. Let's connect the next Jenkins server first. Connect this Jenkins server. This is what happens in real time then also. Sometimes it will be behave like anything. Now the next sudo systemctl status of Jenkins. It's a running, clearly running, but something happened. What I'm going to do, let's restart this. Just lag it this down. Yeah. Then go for manage Jenkins. And the next config system. So type nexus. Why these credentials are not coming in? 1 second. Dashboard new item. And the next is something freestyle. With the plugins issue maybe. Here is coming. Nexus credentials here is coming, but in config system is not coming. That maybe The drop down box is not working now. Let's do one thing. Remote nexus with a single name. This remote server. Add URL. Definitely it will throw the error without adding credentials if you try to do. After adding server, now it's coming. Now nexus credentials. Okay, now admin is coming. Now test the connection. Now you can see. Earlier it's not coming. After restarting, maybe it works now. See, the nexus repository manager connection is succeeded. The next, apply, save it. Apply, save it now. Once it is save it, the next what we need to do, go for manage Jenkins. Sorry, go for your dashboard and go to your job now. And then go to configure. Sir, why you are testing that new job? Just I want to check for this. This is working or not actually. Option. Adding credentials option is working on the Git level or not. That just for testing purpose, I create a new job. That's nothing. Okay. Don't confuse anything there. And the next, this is the code same. And the next here, Nexus repository, if you can see, whatever name they given in the configure system, we got here. And you can see now how this name is came now here, Spring 3. This name where we created under this here that Maven, right? We created here now. All repository will come. These three things will come now. Now tell me how this name came now because of we connected successfully the server. That could be the reason coming. This tag you can see here, the tag is not available here. Tag is only available for Nexus repository place. For this, let's keep it this as it is. No, I don't give mention. And which kind of Maven package here? Why this Maven option only came, guys? What is the reason? What is the reason Maven only came? Because this repository is what Maven only. Okay, that could be the reason Maven packages came. And group ID is that we can give the group ID artifact ID that we discussed in this, right? Group ID we can give the your like as .com, like as not in this packages will come like reverse. Okay, com.msr.co, like that in like as let's say that way it will come. Okay, let's say Madhu. Let's say for example we can give any name that you wish. Spring app, let's say for example version is, let's give the 1.0 and packaging what, var file. Var file is the packaging, let's say. And the path, Maven artifacts path. This path where it will store, guys, this artifacts. Where it will store these artifacts? Tell me. Maven artifact path. Where it is? Where this Maven artifact path is located? Guys, where it is located? From where I can get this? What is the path will be? Anyone? You here share, Satish. Dude, where this Jenkins this job is stored? Target. Where this Jenkins job is stored? Basically in your system. That's target. Okay. This Jenkins complete this job. Spring 3 hello, where it will stored? Array. Where the workspace where live Jenkins and then workspace and then Spring 3 hello, then target, then next your var file name, right? Now let's see that. Now see cd var var lib. Why tab is not working? Okay, cd slash space var lib Jenkins and then workspace and then Spring hello. And if you can see, and the cd target and the next, now this name. Now we can give this name. This is a complete path. Present working directory. There is no star star won't work this scenario, guys. Okay. In Tomcat, sir, in Tomcat level, the var file path we given a star star slash target slash var. Now why can't work this here? Basically, the the plugin when they are implementing, they allow the regular expression in this box, but now this guy is not allowing regular expression. Sir, then for example, let's say I want to get the whatever they mentioned there, like as for example, artifact ID, group ID, and the app name, everything is available under the pom.xml file. If you can see here, you should get the question. Okay. Now, for example, if you go here, and the pom.xml, if you go, you can see here. Okay, you will get to know. Okay, group ID is there, artifact ID is there, packaging is there, version is there, name is there, everything is there. Now, for example, sir, you mentioned this like as 1.0. Okay. Now, how we know this group ID artifact did you mention manually? Okay. Now you need to mention, for example, let's say take your project waste. Okay, you need to copy paste this. Basically, okay, basically this is the real one actually. Artifact ID is this artifact ID. This is the exact real one actually. This is not whatever you want don't want to put. This will come this. This the version is what? Okay, and then var file and then path. The path is what? Slash that name. Name is what? This var file. I didn't try with the star.var file. If star.var file will work, that's great. Okay. What we do, just mention this as of now. Let's later we'll do for star dot. Let's do star.var. Let's first. Later we'll do that the name actually. Okay. Let's give this star.var. Okay. Let's see works this like a special development. Sir, fine. You mentioned for 1.0 snapshot. Okay, fine. Now, for example, developer will change the version. Who will come and modify here? Understand my question? No, developer will change this version. Like for example, let's say in a Jenkins, in Power.xml, he will change to the 1.1 release. Let's say 1.0 release, or else let's say 1.1 snapshot, 1.2 snapshot. Some version he changed. Then again, you need to come and then change to here also, right? And maybe this name may be different, and this name they will different. This var file, maybe this var file name will be changed every time. Okay, like this star will work fine. If it is works, that's fine. If it is not work, we need to give the complete name. We need to give the complete name of this var file name. Okay, there is a link. Then how to read this format.xml file? Is it possible in this cursor level? What I mean now, whatever the format.xml file exact, when if they change automatically, I need to change here also. Is it possible here? Now, the requirement is that there is already in the these values are already in the pom.xml file. But what I did, I copy pasted here. In case they change their values, I need to come and then modify my job also. For example, developer will change every time. Again, you need to come every time. You need to change your job configuration. That's not a proper CA process, because every time is modified. Like as you change every time 100 times, you need to 100 times you want to job change. That's not a like a good practice, right? And then how we can make it this? That make it this. You need to read the pom.xml file. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? To read this pom.xml file dynamically, whatever he mentioned that I want to read here, is it possible this freestyle? Is there is any option to read the here now? There is any option to read here? No. That kind of complexity we can't implement in the freestyle job. Means there is a complexity now, because you need to read the values from pom.xml file, you need to process it, we need to be stored in the nexus repository. This is a very little bit complex process. This process we don't have option in the freestyle job. There is no option in the freestyle job. Then how we can implement this with the dynamic way? No, in these situations when the complexity new involved in the CI/CD process, then the pipeline will come to the picture. Then pipeline jobs will come to the picture. The pipeline job will be we can achieve with this. In the pipeline job we can achieve with this kind of complexity that we'll discuss in the pipeline code. In the pipeline job level we'll understand that, right? What is the difference between the freestyle and the pipeline? Freestyle jobs and the pipeline jobs. Now freestyle jobs are very flexible, like as user like as the values are fixed, then it will be work. But when they come to the like as complexity in your job level and you want to make it dynamic, you want to run something, you want to some processing, you want to create Excel sheet, and you want to store this data in the Excel format, you want to store this data in the like as different format, and you want to read the data from JSON. Okay, there is no any API, there is no code here, there's nothing here. It's a simple everything. The boxes they will give, that we need to fill the boxes. That won't work for all the scenarios. That won't work for the all the scenarios. When they come to the complexity or like as let's say small jobs or complexity, small jobs is fine for freestyle. But when the included in the complexity in your CA/CD process, the freestyle jobs it won't work. Then we need to go for pipeline. We need to go for pipeline. That is the difference between the freestyle and pipeline. When you go for freestyle, when you go for pipeline, we'll see in the hands-on for next week regarding the pipeline. Until then, let's do for the this kind of this is we are just learning for this. Then we are going to modify this as of now, and this is not a correct way to implement this. And we need to read the values from dynamically. The dynamically won't work for enough freestyle, that we can implement using the pipeline jobs. Okay, the pipeline jobs. Understand, right? Great. Now let's try to apply, save it. And this classifier and artifacts, that is nothing to require. Okay, that is optional. Okay, just leave it about that. See, build got successful and it got throw error because see whatever we mentioned now does not exist. It won't allow the stars and all. Okay, then next we need to give the must be modify the your full name. And that's what I told, no? That won't work actually. Okay, that's we need to read the full path. Then this name we need to give this. Okay, this name we need to give this. Apply, save it, and then click a build now. Guys, very important point which I discussed. What is the difference between the when we go for freestyle, when you go for pipeline? It's very important question. Very important question. Ade mama, why fell again? Bad request. Okay, let's go to again one more time. Let's go to configure this. Understand that error. First time facing this. Now what we do? Let's make these changes. Our own name. The one name again. Let's keep it this. Save it. Let's click a bill now. That should go for whatever it is there, but it's not working. Let's see why it's not working. Now this time it's working. Means that is not finding actually. That's both are same conflicts are same actually. Okay, that's the reason it's got not working. I changed that name com.xml, then one point version number, right? Snapshot. That name is not taking properly there. That box actually. That is what problem. That is what problem with this here. Now, if you can see here, refresh this page now. Earlier it was nothing. Now you can see com.msr and then Spring app is came when the 1.0 and this 1.0 if we click now this is the WAR file. This WAR file is created for us. Then we found we can go for deploy this WAR file. And the second time I build again, what happened? Let's see. I'm going to build again. I'm going to build again. Let's see what happens. Again failed. Why? What is the reason, guys? The version is already existed. The same error again. Understand, na? The version which is mentioned and it's not unable to rename that. Okay, that is what issue. The same issue came. And the next what we do? Let's make this version. Version, no? Now we need to change the 2.0. Instead of this, let's make this dynamic value at least as of now. Is the build number is the version number. Build number is the version number. And then it will work for 100 times also. There is no problem now. Even if you click 100 builds, 100 versions will big build, 100 version your will go. 8th is done, then go to here and 8th version also will come. Just refresh here and you can see 8th build or came, 8th version came. And if you build the next version and 9th also will go here without any problem. But you need to read these values in the pom.xml file. That is not possible with this freestyle job. That could be the reason we go for the pipeline. That is what completely dynamically we are going to be read from there. And you can see here, refresh this. Now 189. Right? This 9.12. Now this will be storing your artifacts. Whenever you require that whenever you require we can use that. Even if how we can download, even there is a UI, the REST UI is there. Okay, sorry. Even if it is 9, right? You can click this and even if you click this now, it will download for you. And means this path we need to give to the our like as this URL and then some path will be there. We need to give this path in your curl command. Curl command will download this curl command duplicate and it will download into your bash folder. That I'll show you in the like as pipeline level. Okay, pipeline then that is a good option. Not this kind of complexity will never be used in a freestyle jobs. Okay, it's a simple jobs. Any script you want to run, any Python script you want to run, anything you want to compile and validate, something. These kind of jobs we can configure into the just for freestyle jobs. Okay, when you go for complexity, building images, pushing Docker repository, sonar keep, nexus integration, in this scenario you must be used for the pipeline jobs. Okay, clear, guys? Clear now? Clear this tool. And once it is done now, don't this once your practice is done, don't keep it running this. Just terminate this as soon as possible. It's because it's a chargeable, guys. Okay, be careful. Just half an hour. That's it. Just keep it running. Even you don't need to worry about that. Even if you're not paying, they won't auto deduct for you. In case even if you deduct it also, it won't be much charges. It won't be much chargeable. It happens. Understand? Don't keep on running this instance. Okay, don't keep on running this instance. Once it is done, then immediately terminate this. Immediately you can terminate this. I'm doing that now. Terminate means completely deleting. Once my work is done, I'm going to delete that. I don't want to keep it this. I don't want to running this instance. Completely deleting. It is stop, we can reuse that, but if it delete completely, it will delete this. Is it clear, guys? Okay, guys, fine. Then we'll see you on the we'll see you on tomorrow, guys. Okay, then even you can stop this also once your work is done. Okay, guys, bye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the sonar cube. Don't miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow is very important again. Okay, bye.